Good evening, everyone. Today, the last day of the octave of Easter, the Gospel recounts the first and second apparition of the Risen One to the disciples. Jesus comes at Passover, while the apostles are shut in the upper room, out of fear. But since Thomas, one of the 12, is not present, Jesus returns 8 days later. Let's focus on the two main characters, Thomas and Jesus, looking first at the disciple and then at the master. There is a good dialogue between these two. The apostle Thomas, first of all, he represents all of us who were not present in the upper room when the Lord appeared and did not have other physical signs or apparitions from him. We too struggle at times like that disciple. How can we believe that Jesus is risen, that he accompanies us and is the Lord of our life, without having seen him, without having touched him? How can one believe in this? Why does the Lord not give us some clearer sign of his presence and love? Some sign that I can see better. Here we too are like Thomas, with the same doubts, the same reasoning. But we do not need to be ashamed of this. By telling us the story of Thomas, in fact, the Gospel tells us that the Lord is not looking for perfect Christians. The Lord is not looking for perfect Christians. I tell you, I am afraid when I see a Christian, some associations of Christians who believe themselves to be perfect. The Lord is not looking for perfect Christians. The Lord is not looking for Christians who never doubt and always flaunt a steadfast faith. When a Christian is like that, something isn't right. No, the adventure of faith, as for Thomas, consists of lights and shadows. Otherwise, what kind of faith would that be? It knows times of comfort, zeal, and enthusiasm, but also of weariness, confusion, doubt, and darkness. The Gospel shows us Thomas's crisis to tell us that we should not fear the crisis of life and faith. Crises are not sins. They are part of the journey. We should not fear them. Many times they make us humble because they strip us of the idea that we are fine, that we are better than others. Crisis helps us to recognize that we are needy. They rekindle the need for God and thus enable us to return to the Lord, to touch his wounds, to experience his love anew as if it were the first time. It is better to have an imperfect but humble faith that always returns to Jesus than a strong but presumptuous faith that makes us proud and arrogant. Woe to those, woe to them. And faced with Thomas's absence and his journey, which is often also our own, what does Jesus do? The Gospel says twice that he came, first once, then a second time 8 days later. Jesus does not give up. He does not get tired of us. He is not afraid of our crisis, our weaknesses. He always comes back. When the doors are closed, he comes back. When we are in doubt, he comes back. When, like Thomas, we need to encounter him and to touch him up close, he comes back. Jesus always comes back. He always knocks on the door, and he does not come back with powerful signs that would make us feel small and inadequate, even ashamed, but with his wounds. He comes back showing us his wounds, signs of his love that has espoused our frailties. And God bless you.
Brothers and sisters, we are now on the second Sunday of Easter. This Sunday is also called the Divine Mercy Sunday. Sunday which was instituted by Pope John Paul II, reflecting, seeing the Lord as the Lord of the Divine Mercy. This feast suggests that the big event of the resurrection and all its consequences is basically because of God's divine mercy, God's love, compassion, and forgiveness for all us. Now our attitude this feast, brothers and sisters, will be an attitude of gratitude, surrender, thanksgiving. After all, the Lord has afforded us His mercy, love, and compassion unconditionally, even if we are not worthy of that mercy and compassion. Now in our gospel for today, Thomas was rebuked by the Lord, or he was adamant in seeing, feeling the wound. Unless I could see the wounds of Jesus, then I could hardly believe. Unless I could put my fingers on his side and my nail marks, see the nail marks, then I could hardly believe it. He was humbled then when the Lord told him, "Blessed are those who believe, even if they have not seen it." We have not seen physically the resurrection of Jesus, but nonetheless, more importantly, we believe it has risen from the dead. In our experiences, we believe that the Lord is at work. In our being, we believe that the Lord is alive and active. In the midst of our sinfulness, in the midst of our infidelities, problems and difficulties, amidst all the turmoil, the chaos that we experience, we believe that God is alive. We believe that the Lord is living, that the Lord is with us. So two important points for us to reflect the second Sunday of Easter, brothers and sisters. First is to recognize the mercy, the love, the forgiveness of the Lord with an attitude of generosity, thanksgiving, and surrender. And hopefully, as we are challenged in the gospel through Thomas, may we ever believe, even if things aren't going in what we expect, even if we have been sinned, that is reason for us to be hopeful in the Lord. For definitely, the Lord is Lord of all. The Lord loves us. The Lord cares for us. Pleasant Sunday, brothers and sisters.
Yet we believe him
the new